Hello everyone, I'm Piepatch and welcome back to Our Life Beginnings. And always, we're actually going to be moving on to the final act now. I've said that for like the last 3 videos, but now we're actually going to be doing it. They always end up being longer than I'm expecting and I have to cut it all short. But we're going to be moving on to the best bit, which is picking out what Cove is going to look like. I'm literally so pumped for this. Okay, come on. Alright, we just picked out ours. I think I'm happy. Wait, no, we're changing this, aren't we? We're moving it to love. And is it direct? I think direct feels nice. I think if I don't do direct, I'm always going to be wondering what that would have been like. So, direct, love. Let's go for it. What do I just change it to indifferent right now? No, they're blocked off, I think. Okay, cool. Cool. Let's go. Yes. Wait, Cove customization. Oh, I don't necessarily want to change his personality, but it's so cute. I kind of want to see what other options you have though. This is hair too. Oh, that one's sweet. I like that one. I think I like the long hair. Oh, but that one's nice too. Glasses. I like the ones they picked out for us. Earrings. Well, we can't see them anyway. Oh. This one feels most like Cove to me. I kind of like some of the stuff they've picked out for us. I think it works. You know? Interesting. Okay. Wait, I forgot which color they picked out for us. Was it that one? I think it was. Oh, well, we gotta go with the blue so it matches. Pants. Oh, blue or pink? Blue or pink? Blue. Pink. I think the blue works, yeah. Ooh. I like that one. Cute. But I'm still tossing up with the hair. No, I think I do like that one. I think they did a good job of figuring it out. Oh, this is gonna be so exciting. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. Oh. They didn't let us... I think maybe I didn't quite understand that menu of picking appearance and personality. I would have liked to look at the options for personality, but I kind of don't want to change anything. I just want it to have been built off what we've done before, so that's nice. Since you're romantically interested in Cove and are old enough to start being physically affectionate more seriously, you can choose what initiative level he has throughout step 3. Interesting. Making sure the player experiences what they want is important in our life, but always putting your choice first can potentially make a relationship feel one-sided. Yes. So we've added some flexibility in how it works out. Oh, that's so nice. I love that. Low initiative means that Cove will occasionally ask to touch the MC, and in those situations there will always be an opportunity to say yes or no. For example, he won't simply lean over and kiss the MC as a greeting or in an emotional moment. Every piece of physical interaction will be either initiated or approved by the player before it happens. Middle initiative means there will be those certain times when Cove requests to touch the MC, which means main character, in case you didn't know. Many chances to initiate... It's not like a rap battle or something. Many chances to initiate affection on your own, and Cove will be pretty regularly give affection automatically. One example would be giving the MC a kiss because he's happy or emotional or something else. And in other situations, you can choose not to make the first move in order to give Cove the space to be the one to act afterwards. Okay. Overall, Cove can get romantic, but the player's agency will take priority. Interesting. High initiative includes everything middle does, but it also means that player agency will be reduced to a degree in favour of having Cove give physical affection even more frequently and with less prompting. Instead of all the major affection giving situations being led by a choice menu for you to decide on, some will instead be replaced by Cove acting automatically. This level is only recommended if you're very comfortable with physical affection and would prefer to simply see it happen rather than always holding the reins on it. Oh. However, this level is mostly relevant if Cove ends up as your official boyfriend at some point. Situations where high-level initiative makes a difference tend to come up in scenes that are exclusive to being in a relationship. The parts that are also included in the middle initiative will be seen whether you're dating or not. Interesting. Once you pick your level, it can't be changed later, so keep your full playthrough in mind when deciding. We hope you enjoy whichever initiative option you decide on. Oh, this is surprisingly difficult for me. I struggle sometimes with physical interaction. I'm not a huge hugger with most people unless I'm very close to the person. Or I like to initiate it myself, just because it can make me anxious and stuff. But like my dog, I'm very cuddly with. I hug her all the time, and it's very different levels of it. Usually, I think in real life, middle initiative would definitely be what I'd go with. But considering this is a playthrough and I want to experience it to the fullest, I'm thinking high initiative might be nice, especially because I want to go for the full romantic route on it. I guess I'm going into this with the caveat that I am consenting to everything that he does now. Oh, but while I might get uncomfortable with some of these interactions in real life, I think in the game it'll be cute. I'm hoping. And giving him more initiative is going to take out some of that anxiety that I've had of worrying that I'm taking too much initiative and he's not comfortable with any of it. I think I want to go with the high initiative one, just to live this out to the fullest. Why am I so indecisive? Yeah, no, I think I'll regret it if I don't. And that's okay. Here we go. Decision made. Ooh, achievement unlocked direct. Cool. And here we go, getting into the actual story. The start of classes ended the relaxed 3 days of summer. It didn't take long for you to get back into the swing of the school year routine. Schedules and homework became the new normal. Derek wasn't around nearly as much. With the school and after-school activities, there weren't many opportunities for him to take the trip out to your neighborhood. Sometimes you'd hear that he was at a training camp or something like that, but you weren't always sure what he was up to. I think it'd be nice to keep talking over the phone. In this imagined reality where things like that still actually happen. The Jeremy kid did disappear after that summer, and no one ever heard from him again. Where he went or what he might be up to was a mystery. That was odd. It felt like he kind of showed up. It felt like a lot of foreshadowing that he was going to maybe pop up for another arc, and then he kind of disappeared. But I guess we'll see. It felt a little like they had plans for it and then just kind of decided to steer away from it. More summers came and went like the waves on the shore, coming in and out. In your second year of high school, someone new started to visit Sunset Bird, a sunny girl named Terry Brooke. She was a friend Cove made due to them both being ocean obsessed. Terry was more than glad to befriend you two. Someone close to Cove had to be good company, she felt. You were pleased to get along with her as well. Oh, that's lovely. Terry was tight with another girl you had known distantly from school for a long time, Miranda Eckert. Eckert? Yeah. You saw more and more of her as time went on, thanks to Terry and Miranda's own outreach. After a while, all of you developed a real friendship together. As for your home life, the Pieworks also had developments. Changing laws and public perception countrywide made it possible for your moms to openly wear their wedding rings without questions. Oh my god, I just, oh, that's nice. They're also sad. Oh, that they felt that like they couldn't wear they couldn't wear their wedding rings before. Wow, that's kind of heartbreaking, but it's nice that they can wear them now. Oh. Though they had a wedding years ago, it was only recently that the union was officially recognized everywhere in the US. That was a good day, to say the least. Yeah. Elizabeth came into her own and stopped being quite as irritable. She'd no longer worried about perceived childishness as she grew up for real. Oh, I can't wait to see Elizabeth. Oh, now that she's more grown up, I feel like that's going to be a really nice relationship. She didn't even mind being called Lizzie again, although most people used Liz. She eventually graduated high school and moved out to attend college in another state. Oh, was she gone? It was a lot for you to adjust to your older sister being gone. Liz never let you forget her role in your life though and kept in touch. That's good. Cove's relationship with his family improved over the years. Kira visited several times after that summer and things became easier between the two. Oh, that's lovely. He was also closer with his dad than ever before. You knew they talked more, and that helped prevent a lot of friction before it could start. Oh, that's good. However, Cove still wasn't what anyone would call social. He kept to himself usually. He cared for the few connections he did have, but didn't reach outside them. Cove's interests had shifted from when he was younger. He still enjoyed athletic activities on occasion, but now he gave time to more studious endeavours as well. Cove's interests had shifted from when he was younger. He still enjoyed more studious pursuits, but he also spent just as much time on athletic activities. That's very funny. So these must be just generated from the kind of interactions I've had with him. And I must have been kind of middle of the road before. Okay, that's interesting. A nice bit of insight into the algorithm. Ooh, achievement unlocked. Matured affection. Things had shifted between you and Cove, but in a way that most couldn't see. After all this time, he wasn't just your neighbour. He wasn't only your friend, or even a guy you were interested in. Oh, that makes my heart so happy. You were in love with him. You loved Cove. You knew that fact for certain. There was no one else you held those feelings for. Oh, that's so beautiful to be able to say that with such certainty. Wow. It was strange to look back on it all. The future faded into your present, and then it was simply the past. Even the most fundamental parts of your life couldn't last forever. You felt that the most pointedly the day you inevitably graduated high school. It was over, and you would not be going back ever again. From now on, what came next was your choice. You would be directing your own life. That was where you were currently. The summer after school had ended, the first summer of true freedom. What used to be a reprieve from the typical was now going to be your first step into adulthood. Wow, so we're like properly 18 now. Oh, I remember that feeling, finishing high school and just going, wow, it's like done and I can do anything now. It's a good feeling. One fine summer morning, you took in what had become a very special scene, the whole family having a meal together. Oh my god, she's so pretty! Oh damn, Liz! I love her hair, it just keeps getting better. Oh my gosh, she's so pretty. Wow, I sound like I'm gonna cry. Your big sister Liz still hadn't lived at home full-time for a couple years, but she arrived last week to spend the season here since it was an off semester for her. Yay! So we still get to play the game with her, that's good. She wanted to make sure she was in town because you had now also graduated high school, so who knew how much rarer these moments would become in the future. You watched on as Liz laughed good-naturedly over a comment Ma had made. Her Elizabeth-only mindset had only been a phase. Nearly any nickname was welcomed at this point in her life. Strangely, even though she'd moved away, you'd lately felt closer to her than you had in a long time. You idly scooped up more of your breakfast and chewed absent-mindedly. Ooh. You're a picky eater, yeah. Well, I was vegan in the last one, and I'm vegan in real life, so let's just stick with that, I guess. In the meal you had reflected that. Your moms were happy to make food that fit your needs, along with dishes for themselves that didn't, though you often made your own food nowadays. But it wasn't only you had a diet that excluded certain things, as Liz had been vegetarian for a while. Oh, interesting. Oh no, no, they're looking old. Don't do this to me. Oh my god. I'm just kind of realizing I'm playing through this person's life and I'm seeing the people around them age. This is kind of heartbreaking. Jeez, oh no. Oh my gosh. I mean, I like the white streak in your hair. It's nice. Oh my god. My heart. Conversation had gone on idly without you fully taking in the words until your ears were piqued when Miles started on a bit of town gossip. And so that's how I heard the news. Oh? Alright. Now stop burying the lead and tell us. What is this so-called news? Ma giggled as she cast a look across the table, satisfied that she had everyone's attention. Well, it turns out the Donalds won't be renting out the condo up the street as per Sunset tradition for the first time in what must be nearly 2 decades. A chorus of gasps and shocked expressions were had all around. Oh my god, Elizabeth looks completely different. Oh my god, I just can't. After the initial shock, your eyebrows pinched. Ma may consider them by name, but you and Liz always viewed them exclusively as the mean old couple who would yell at anyone under 25 who crossed their paths. Oh. Your Ma continued on with the story, spreading strawberry jam over a piece of toast as she did so. They've decided not to take big trips anymore. Friends and family will be visiting them at their home. Oh, I gotta remove her voice. That's nice for them, then. Have a good summer. Me and grandparents with no grandkids, away from us. Oh, I don't get her voice is a bit deep. Oh my god. Oh, it's kind of sad they can't travel anymore. I hope they're still okay, even if they are mean. Finally, they can piss off. I mean, they're mean, but, you know. I hope they're still okay, even if they are mean. They've had a very full life. It's nothing to sneeze at. And you be nice, Liz. She's right, though. You don't want to end up like them, do you? You and your sister cracked smiles at the joke. At least they won't be here to yell at my children anymore. Yes. Lonnie. That blunt comment got laughter from all 3 of you. Engrossed in conversation once more, you continued to chat with your family until the meal was over. What is this? Step 3, 3rd time's charm. Ooh. As it went, once the food was eaten, the cleanup had to be done. Liz took the role of washing the dishes and passed them to you for drying and putting away. You had a set of cups in front of you that needed to go on the top shelf of the cabinet. Ooh. I am kind of tall. I don't really know. I think I'm above average. But yeah, let's just go you are tall. Feel that. I can't make every single choice a big meaningful decision. Some of them are just nothing, okay? I'm so indecisive. You really shot up in height the last few years. No one had seen it coming. You felt great about how things were. You really hope. Yeah, I like my height. Your height was something about yourself that you're always quite pleased with. Oh my god, I just can't. She's just, wow, like a proper adult. And she's so pretty. I wonder what she's doing. Liz shook you out of your internal musing by starting an impromptu conversation. She seemed to be voicing the thoughts that had been buzzing around in her own head. I have to say, going back for another semester this fall is pretty intimidating. You'd think after the first year or 2 I'd have a handle on things, but no. You stole a glance at her, still placing cups in the proper place. I guess it's only fair. My first round was pretty general classes, and year 1 of my architecture major was the basics. Oh, architecture, that's fun. Now it feels serious. I have to actually know some things. The laugh she gave was flippantly airy, but the way she scrubbed the plates held more force than necessary. I think it's really cool you want to be an architect. Don't be too impressed yet. Wait and see if it actually happens. But thanks. Your older sister's mouth quirked into a small smile. It'll be fine, one way or another. Oh, but I'm not trying to scare you away from college, if that's even your plan. What is going on with that anyway? Oh, okay. You've had a solid plan set for a long time. You came to a firm conclusion recently. You kind of had a general idea. You had absolutely no idea. You didn't even let yourself think about it. It was too much. When I came out of high school, I was pretty set that I didn't want to go to university. And then I gave it a year and I really wanted to go to university. But I think a general idea is probably just a comfortable place to be. You answered the question as much as you were able and willing to. Liz's smile grew more reassuring as you did. You've made it through 12 years of full-time education already. You've got plenty going for you. Oh, thank you. Sometimes it still felt hard to believe your public schooling experience was over. In the end, you graduated. I know. You saw through with high marks. You had to work extremely hard, but you were awarded with great grades. You had an average graduate. I think, yeah, let's go hardworking. You were just glad it was truly behind you, yeah. You achieved a lot and could take what you learned with you moving forward. Liz picked up on the silence her question ended up creating. She decided it was time to make a closing statement on the topic. You're a good kid, Patch. Do what's best for you, and we'll be here to back it up. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. Thanks. You're a good big sister. At that, Liz happily passed the final dish your way. She waved a soppy-soaked hand as a farewell and moved on to her next task for the cleanup job. You refocused on getting the last pieces put back where they belonged. You eventually moved on to a new chore, but that was interrupted by the sound of your cell phone. Ooh. Well, I do see these things pop up and I get in my head about it. I'm like, okay, it's gotta have a deeper meaning. Probably just the default, that's all I have. You casually picked it up from the table where you'd placed it earlier. The phone was a couple years old at this point, having been a 16th birthday gift from your parents. They decided which model to get, but you got to pick the color. It was... it's yellow. Yes. And it was just for... yeah, we're gonna attach a charm to it, which was... Oh my god, it's so customizable. Yes! Yes! Yes, it's the crab keychain! Oh, it's perfect! Yes! Okay. You were pleased when you finally had a prominent place to use the gift. When you said crab key, I thought it was like the size of like a softball or something. Or the size of like an orange is what I was imagining. It's bigger than your phone. The screen lit up as you gave the little device a swipe with one finger. You were informed by caller ID that it was Lee. You weren't surprised. Despite having busier and busier lives and not living in the same town, you still had a good relationship with your cousin of the same age. Especially once the miracle of the both of you having your own phones actually happened. She got hers first though, naturally. Tapping at the accept button, you answered the call. A familiar bubbly voice came through right after. Oh, she's so pretty too! Oh, the little crab keychain! Oh my god, this game is too much for me. This is everything I need. Hey, Patch. Sup? I trust I'm not interrupting anything major. Only some cleaning around the house. Oh, then you're welcome for my call. A distraction from that must have been desperately needed. Yes, thank you, my dear cousin. I kinda like cleaning. It's good to hear from you. Right? She giggled and you could hear the jangling of the jewelry she must be wearing. Nothing amazing is happening for me either. I'm bored and felt like chatting. My morning shift ended, so I'm free for the rest of the day. Woo! That's good. Ooh. I started working when I was like 16. You need to build up that resume as soon as you can. It's a cruel world out there. You were off from your part-time job today. Like you, Lee had started dipping her toes into the workforce as of late. As of late, at like 18? Oh, I'm sorry, unrealistic in this economy. It made keeping in touch frequently even more complicated, but you both managed. What about you? It's been pretty normal. Cool. It's you then. So, how's Mr. Cove Holden doing? Look at her face. There was a teasing bent to her tone. She was never willing to let up on what was going on between the two of you. But that name was incredibly familiar to your ears. Cove, your next-door neighbor for the past decade at this point. But he was far more than just someone who lived on the same street. You vividly remembered the summer day you expressed your feelings for each other as little 13-year-olds. Well, that was 5 years ago. Interesting. I just can't imagine that, considering like how close we were and how openly we were expressing that we liked each other, that we'd wait that long. So I feel like they probably started dating a while ago. Oh, and you were in love with him, but that was one thing you hadn't admitted yet. And you were in love with him, but didn't want to talk about that at this point in your life. I think, no, that's alright. You can be in love at a young age. I think that's totally fine. Are you even surviving without the boy being 10 feet away at all times? Or is everything right with the world again and he's back? No, Lee, he isn't here. Just like he wasn't here yesterday, or the last time you asked, or the time before that. Oh, my bad. Can you blame me? Doesn't it seem like he should have made his grand return already? Plus, I want to visit soon, and he needs to be there too. Is he away at the moment? Interesting. You could understand where she was coming from. This was certainly outside the norm. For the past couple months, and the last few weeks especially, Cove had been going to his mum's place in Nevada. The two of you still regularly stayed in contact over text and calls, but still. Your mind began to drift back in time to all the prior trips he'd taken to visit her. Almost every year he'd have to go away for a while and then he'd be back. Never mind. It was kind of nice over it. Oh, you weren't a fan, but you made do. It was just shitty. It upset you. Your younger self worried about leaving him for good. No. Oh, about him leaving for good. It's good that he goes and visits his mum. He needs that. Of course. But I can feel kind of sad about being away from him. I think that's alright. You sent him letters the entire time he was away. Your mums helped you ship out care packages to him and his mum. You gave him special treasures to take with him before he left. You kept an eye on his house for him while he wasn't there. You were incapable of doing anything until he was back. I think you sent him letters the entire time he was away. I think that's sweet. Cove made sure to mail some back to you too. That's how it was in the past, but lately he'd been trying to see her as much as he could before taking long trips to another state became too impractical to do. Yeah, that's fair enough. His part-time work could become full-time soon, or he could be moving somewhere else for school. Cove hadn't actually been entirely clear what his plans were after graduation. Cove was hesitant to speak on that, even with you. It couldn't be avoided forever though. You both knew that. Maybe we should switch this up to a non-Cove related topic? That works. The rest of the conversation rolled on. Not much longer though. Lee had to go, and you needed to finish your responsibilities around the house. Both of you exchanged goodbyes, then you went back to what you'd been working on before the call came in. Oh, she's just so pretty. Oh my gosh, it's just so pretty. As you wrapped up the last of your chores, you were approached by Liz wearing a cheeky smile. I've got Mom's keys. Want to get out of this tiny town and do some shopping in the real city? Whoa. Yeah, it's been way too long since I've gone anywhere exciting. Good. I'm driving. That was obvious. You didn't know how to drive. You were glad for that. I'm still on my L's. I'm sorry. It stresses me out. Go get your wallet and anything else. We're going now. With a nod, you made a quick detour to collect your stuff from your bedroom. You had money saved up from all the part-time work you'd done, as well as from gifts you'd received. Ooh, car. Ooh, car! After making sure you were both fully prepared for the long haul to the largest city in the surrounding area, you buckled into the car. It was a smooth ride there, with light conversation about what shops to stop at and the radio blasting. Liz controlled what was played, but she made sure to pick songs she knew you liked. It was something the two of you had always done for each other. Oh, yeah, back when I chose that song that she liked when she was sad. This has got some nice callbacks in it. I really like this. Wow. The trip there breezed by, and in what felt like no time at all, you had gone from cruising down the road to cruising through the mall. Liz had her interests to check out, and you yours. Ooh, your hobbies and skills were still the ones you developed when you were younger, like art and stuff? I'm cool with that. When turning down a corner a new length of the mall, your eyes caught on a little gift shop. Your friends and family had recently given you many presents for graduating high school. You realised you wanted to get a graduation gift yourself to give Cove. You had a gift of your own ready to give Cove when the chance came. You really appreciated what you'd gotten. I think I probably already thought of that. Yeah. It was something you had known you wanted to do and you were looking forward to seeing his reaction. Graduation may have already come and gone, but Cove wasn't really around, so you had to wait. Aha, you're very close. Also, like, a little blurry, but that's fine. Eventually, the mall was explored in full and every shop of note being checked over. Rather than going home, you decided to walk over to some smaller stores nearby. Liz had many thoughts on that topic. Honestly, malls are not a bastion of society. Even if smaller stores require extra distance, the brands are so much more. Then your sister abruptly stopped speaking and walking, right in the middle of the path. It was a good thing no one was behind her. She seemed entirely shut off for a moment. Are you alright? Your eyes are huge. Liz? The attempt to catch her attention was unsuccessful. Something else had all her focus. Before you could puzzle out what might be happening, she began to mumble out of the corner of her mouth. Patch, don't draw attention, but look. What? With a harsh whisper and a subtle jerk of her head, she urged you once more. Look! You followed her gaze as best you could to a large bunch of colourful teens strolling down the same path. Okay? You faced back over to your sister with a confused expression and an unspoken question. What were you supposed to be seeing there? Oh? Is it Cove? Patch? Doesn't one of them seem familiar? She was practically bouncing at this point, so you looked the group over again and this time you saw what she was saying. No! Oh my gosh! Yes! Yes! Oh, I'm so glad he came back. Oh, I was so worried he would just disappear forever. Oh, this is so nice. Oh, I'm so happy. Amongst the collection of strangers was brown hair, grey eyes, and lots of freckles. That's Shiloh! Our Shiloh from when we were kids. Yep, that was definitely him. I can't believe it. He's honestly just there. That's hilarious. That's incredible. Oh, but how do we talk to him? We'd have to pull him away from all those other people, and what if I'm wrong? Your mouth opened to reply, but she cut it off with her own answer to the question. I got it. I'll shout the name Shiloh, and then we can act like it wasn't us. If he responds to that, we'll know without a doubt it's him. Patch, keep an eye out to see if he looks. Great. Can't you just try talking to him normally? We're not doing that, it's a terrible plan. Why do I have to be the one who watches? Let's try it, fine. Liz, can't we just go over and say hi? Luckily, without even hearing what you said, Liz put her plan into... Yeah, okay. Okay. Shiloh! Okay. She loudly projected the word across the way and then put on an act of casualness, turning her head away from the scene while brushing at the skirt of her dress. In a supremely awkward moment, you could only stand there as the tension in the area shifted to the two of you thanks to your sister's shout. But of the many startled bystanders who became altered to your presence, one of them was the boy. From a distance, his large eyes met yours. He looked. A wide grin took over Liz's face. She pushed the rim of her sun hat up and away from her face while swishing back around to greet her old friend directly. Shiloh! Waving, she stepped a bit closer to express her intention to meet. Without really closing the gap, she wanted him to come to her. Who you presumed to be Shiloh looked surprised at the call-out. He stole a quick glance at the crowd he was with and hesitantly glanced back your way. He was trying to double-check something. Liz remained steadfast with her gaze trained on him, and ultimately, he broke away from the rest of them. Oh, he looks so sweet. He looks like Angus MacDonald. That's Angus MacDonald! Boy detective! That's a boy detective right there if ever I've seen one. After a light-footed jog across the brick path, the young man pleasantly presented himself in front of Liz and you. If it's not him, I'll cry. Oh god, I gotta pick it on you. Hi, I like your hat. Just that simple greeting had Liz giggling. Hello, I'm not sure if you remember this, but I'm Lizzie and that's Patch. We were all friends when we were little kids. His already wide eyes grew even... Look at his face! His already wide eyes grew even larger, their gaze darting between you and Liz. His previously chipper demeanor faded into something delicate. Oh, no, I really wanted it to be Shiloh. I'm really sorry, but I think you have the wrong person. You could tell not being instantly recognized was going to make this exchange more of a challenge. Still, Liz was undeterred. It was a long time ago. You were really young. I get why you feel like that. However, I'm positive I'm right. You're exactly the same. That face, the freckles, how genially you try to phrase things. You're even still wearing a hat. Instinctively, he looked up at his headwear and with creased brows, not making the connection why the hat meant something to her. We knew each other, okay? I don't think it's him, Liz. An uneasy smile settled on him as a silence followed Liz's speech. He was picking his next words carefully, and then the quiet was obliterated by a new voice bursting into the conversation. It is him! Why doesn't he remember? Shiloh, what are you doing? The rest of the group already left. A field trip is not a vacation. We're on a schedule. Why did that sound so Aussie? Startled, your head snapped toward the path. A distinctly unhappy individual with piercing magenta eyes, dark brown skin, and sharp jaws stormed your way. He carried a cloud of authority with him, despite looking like he wasn't even 18 yet. So it is him. Now I'm just sad. Sorry, I didn't mean to ditch. Shiloh, whose name was now officially confirmed, gestured with a hand to add to the explanation of his absence as the stranger watched impatiently. They thought they recognized me as someone they knew, but it was a tiny misunderstanding. Liz theoretically as well as literally put her foot down at that, stomping in frustration, getting more childish the longer she was around her childhood companion. We do know you! Shiloh merely shrunk in on himself. The tone he spoke with was pained. Sorry. Oh. You honestly couldn't tell if he was apologizing for the upset feelings of your sister or the palpable dissatisfaction of his new acquaintance. That in itself was very Shiloh-like. Oh, you know him? Is that it? The stranger spoke in a dismissively scoffing tone, as if the words sounded so absurd to him it was almost amusing. Almost. But the sternness of his demeanor quickly reinstated itself. Well, do you know me? I'll tell you. I'm someone who has been forced against his will to be aware of what's going on in Shiloh's ridiculous personal life for a year. God, how rude. Jeez Louise. What situation even is this? If the two of you had any importance in his general day-to-day existence, it would have come up by now. Don't bother trying to exaggerate any trivial connection you might have with him. It's not good enough. He's with us, and you'll survive without him. Now stop loitering on the road. It's rude. Oh my God. What the heck? Excuse me? Where are the rude ones? The high-strung ranting got an audible gasp from Shiloh, who finally started to speak up again in defense. Nate, that's really mean. It's also true. We're leaving. With that declaration, the unofficially introduced Nate indignantly spun on his heels and walked speedily towards where the group went, completely confident that Shiloh would follow behind. People can sure have bad attitudes, huh? Why don't they just try to get along? It's not hard. Don't worry though, I bet you won't have to deal with him again. And I'm sorry I can't stay to talk to you, but I hope you have a really nice life. Bye. Oh, he doesn't remember us. And that was it. His final parting words given. Shiloh left the two of you behind to catch up with his own life that he had to go live. Liz watched his exit, stunned, only to frown when it hit her that he was really gone as quickly as he appeared. It happened so fast that you hadn't even been able to get a word in. She sighed, all the energy she built up releasing with a breath. I could have told him his last name was Fields. His birthday's October 30th. That would have proved it. But no. Wow, Shiloh grew up to be dumb. Wherever Nate is, he sucks. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry, Liz. I was really her best friend. We felt so bad for your big sister. He'd been such a close friend in her early years, and their reunion was completely ruined. Why aren't you running after him? Liz merely shook her head, pushing off childish thoughts. I think we can leave it there, thanks. He's in the middle of a high school field trip, and it was already enough being able to see him. There's something reassuring about witnessing firsthand that he's still out there, enjoying his own part of the world. Oh, I know, that's so sad though. I can't believe he doesn't remember. I guess he was really young. Though, if given the chance, I could definitely have a few words with him about the company he's got. She laughed, but you could tell there wasn't much humor in it. She was mad at the guy, even if she was happy to let Shiloh go. Maybe they're only with each other because of the field trip, and it's not usually how things are. True, we can only hope the same for him as he did for us. Have a nice life, Shiloh. Have a good life. Liz smiled at you. He had the self-confidence you knew so well from her. Wow, and he's just gone like that? Oh, I guess it's nice that there's a conclusion, but that's sad. Come on, kid, let's finish our own trip. Yeah. No matter how either of you really felt about the occurrence, it was something you simply had to accept. People you know just disappear and reappear in the most unexpected ways. The two of you enjoyed what remained of your outing until it was time to return home. By the time you arrived back, the sun was already beginning to set. You arched your back as you stretched your arms toward the ceiling. While it had been a good day, it had enough activity to cover an entire week. Liz tried to hide a yawn behind her hands. You weren't the only one feeling worn out. I'll be heading up to your room. The guest room. Since mine stopped being available as soon as I was out the door. Her tone was light. She had quite a lot to say on the subject when you'd first taken over her bigger room after she left for college, but there have been many trips back home for her since then. The room hadn't been hers for years. It was more of a running joke now that she continued to bring the topic up to this day. Thanks for being so gracious about giving it up. I had no choice. A small laugh was shared between you and your older sister. You better believe you'll be back in the guest room when you've got your own place and we're both in town for a visit. Don't count on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I said don't count. She flashed her familiar grin and couldn't help but feel glad she was back around, even if it was temporary. Oh. With that, she plodded off to the spare room. You were ready to do the same. Moving into a new space was your first opportunity to decorate from scratch. Oh, this is exciting. I wonder what our room looks like now. I get to design it! I didn't know this was gonna happen. This is so exciting. Oh my gosh. So this is the layout. Okay, interesting. Oh, that one's quite nice. See that? It's not really utilizing the space too well. I like the desk there, but I've also only got a one-person bed that way. I like this one. This one's cute. Yeah. Extras. Yeah, of course. Why not? Window. Yeah. Why not just completely fill it up with stuff? Or go doing photos or lights? I think I like the pictures. Like, I usually love having lights in my room, but covering the walls with stuff feels... Ooh. Yeah, no, I think I like that. A ball... Oh. Let's just pack it with stuff. Make it feel more lived in. And... Telescope is fun, and I also play volleyball occasionally with my brother, so that's perfect. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this. This is cute. You were really satisfied with the feel of your tiny part of the world. As your thoughts drifted, you tried to bite down another yawn. It was no good. Your bed was now lodged in your mind, and all you could think about was collapsing on it. You trudged up the stairs to your room. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, I love it. Stepping inside, you closed the door behind you, blocking the rest of the house. When you turned back around, you realized you were not alone there. Yay! Oh! It is so cute! Oh my gosh. Comfortably perched on the windowsill was someone very familiar to you. Hi! Hey, bud. Cove Holden. How are you here? As if he hasn't done this before. It's such a cringy smile. Oh my god, I gotta figure out a voice now. Surprise? Oh, I guess that's it. His tone was easy and relaxed. It certainly was a surprise. You hadn't expected him to be within the state, never mind your own house. He hadn't answered how he had suddenly just appeared back in Sunset Bird, though to be fair, you'd been too astounded to actually ask the question. Thankfully, Cove took the hint from your stunned expression and began to explain. I got in about 15 minutes ago. No one was home, so I figured I'd come in the usual way. The window. Of course. A small smile had formed on his face. You were still staring at him, unable to blink in case he disappeared. You could still barely believe that he was really there, a mere feet away from you. I left my bags in your backyard. I hope that's alright. That was when you truly understood. Cove had come straight to you upon getting back to town. You were his first port of call, taking precedence above all else. Even though you hadn't been in when he called, Cove had ensured that he'd see you at the earliest opportunity, rather than allowing his plans to change. You laughed. The realization made you bashful. You shook your head at his antics. You stayed frozen, the shock yet to you just walked over him. I think I'm gonna laugh. I think that's cute. The delight bubbled out of you as a fit of chuckles. He could never even attempt to hide how he felt about anything, including you. Cove dropped from his seat on the windowsill, landing lightly on his feet. He made his way over to you, the smile still resting on his face. You're too crazy. I'm so glad you're here. I missed you. Trouble's back in town. I can't believe my eyes. It's the most amazing man in the world. You didn't say anything. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, you ruffled his hair. You wrapped him in a gentle embrace. You pulled him into a bone-crushing hug. You jumped into his arms. You smiled at him. You kissed him. I think let's hug to start with. Oh, look at him. Oh, he's so cute. A contented sigh slipped from Cove's lips as you held him close. You wrapped his own arms around your back in return. Cove's hold tightened and he snuggled the side of your head against yours to be even closer. Being held like this was comforting for the both of you. I missed you. Even if you hadn't said it outright, you would have gotten the message from his body language. Cove was grinning widely, his raised cheeks burying his eyes, which gleamed like hidden gems. But his smile is so goofy. It looks like he's just got like buck teeth. But he looked at you as if you were the most exciting treasure of all. Aw. Obviously. Was the trip any good? Cove's brow creased as he considered your question. Oh, he leaned in and kissed you. After a long moment, he broke the kiss and tilted his face back just enough to speak, but not so much that your forehead stopped touching. I hated it. Let's never be apart again, okay? Oh. He said that absolutely as a joke, an exaggeration, something that wasn't a real request, of course, and yet despite all of that, it felt real. Your heart hammered in your chest, your head swam, cast adrift on a tide of thoughts and adrenaline. Cove smiled as if offering a silent apology for his sudden onslaught of tenderness, but he let the words proudly hang in the air all the same. Cove told you about how his trip back had gone. Soon you'd recovered enough to actually listen. His mum was doing really well. She had a project in the works that she was thrilled about. As a result, Cove was going to be sticking around in Sunset Bird for the time being. Things were settled, as much as they ever could be. With Cove back once more, you felt at ease. Cove stretched his arms out over his head, his eyes on the window and the world beyond. The sun had set while you'd been busy reuniting. I should probably get my stuff and see Dad. He glanced over to you with a familiar, expectant look. Want to come with me? No, but I'll walk you downstairs. Sure, I can go over for a little while. You know I do. Cool. Cove began to head to your bedroom door. I'll follow after him. The two of you casually went down to the ground floor of your house. In all the excitement of Cove's return, you hadn't even remembered the gift you'd prepared for when he got back. It would be best to give it to him now, before you left your house. Can you wait here a little while? I got something for you. Cove tilted his head, intrigued. Really? You nodded with some eagerness, trying to imagine how he'd react when he actually saw it. You'd bought Cove something special. The gift you'd chosen hadn't been something you could buy. Ooh. Yeah, let's make something. I think that makes sense. It was, the orange shell he'd been entranced with when you were kids, a white poppy from the hill behind your house. I think something we've made. You rushed upstairs to collect the gift you'd made for him. It was the end product of hours of labor, including thinking about Cove, what he meant to you, and what would bring him the most joy. Ooh. I think a scrapbook is cute. Lots of photos and stuff. Your heart skipped a beat as you picked it up, excitement growing as you looked down at the scrapbook. You hurried back down to Cove. Oh. You carefully made the trip back down the stairs. Cove looked up at you as you approached, not wanting to put it off any longer. You hopefully held out your gift to him. It's a scrapbook. Cove's eyes widened as he took it in. Did you make that for me? His words were faint. Yeah, unless you don't like it, then I've never seen it before in my life. Oh. Cove smiled, blinking rapidly as he shook his head. You went to that much effort? He grinned, tearing his glossy eyes away from your present long enough to look at you. I can't believe you. I'll take really, really good care of it. He cradled the gift in his fingers as he took it from your hands. It's irreplaceable. He's crying! Oh! Cove reverently laid the gift safely on the counter, but he didn't turn back to face you once he had ensured it was secure. Though his face was angled away from you, you caught his eyelashes fluttering as if batting away tears. His throat bobbed as he was swallowing bubbling emotions. Oh! You knew that Cove could be sentimental. The gift and all the memories and feelings tied up in it seemed to have taken a toll on him. When he began to sniffle, you felt the need to reach out. Cove? You can't, I don't know what to do. He forcefully he's like, what are these liquid coming out of my eyes? Help me, I think I'm dying. He forcefully scrubbed at his eyes like he was trying to push the tears that threatened to spill back in. Cove, it's okay. Do you need to cry? No. Oh, look at him. Nevertheless, the tears had begun to spill down his cheeks. Even as he wiped them away, more took their place. Thank you. His voice quavered as he quavered as he spoke. Cove reached out. You gladly stepped forward to meet him. He laid his warm hands against your cheeks and brought his lips to you. You kissed Cove until the need for air finally won out. Head spinning, you were glad of the security of Cove's hands. Even after your lips had parted, Cove remained close, his hands still framing your face. You're such a crybaby. I don't think we need to say anything. Cove let out a steady breath. It was far removed from the shaky gasps that had accompanied his sniffles. The tears had dried. He's such a goofball. Oh, look at that face. His eyes were a little red, but open and at peace once again. He smiled, fully recovered from the emotion that had overcome him. You're really, seriously too nice to me. You smiled back. You have no right to call anyone else too nice. Cove brushed his hand against the pale ghost of a scar on his arm. He was at a loss for what to do now. The clock ticked away, counting the seconds of silence. Once you had a chance to settle your thoughts, you figured you'd tell Cove the intriguing news. Oh yeah! Oh, I have to tell you, you're never gonna guess who I saw today. You didn't give Cove a chance to reply. There seriously was no way that he'd figure it out. Shiloh! Shiloh? Cove repeated the name, his expression blank. From when we were kids. Cove pondered for a moment, then snapped his fingers. Oh, he was the freckly boy from that first summer, right? The one who moved. The guy was named Shiloh, and he looked just like Shiloh from back then, even wearing a hat still. Like he's just never taken it off after all those years. But he had no idea who I was and ran off somewhere. Cove frowned. That's... I don't know. Too bad I missed it, though you knew him better than I did. That was definitely true. Not only had Cove known Shiloh for a shorter period of time, but he and Shiloh had never quite gotten along. Not that they were enemies either, just kids who were only ever together because of other people they both knew. I wonder what Shiloh's up to these days. I don't have any idea. He didn't say much. Oh well. That was everything you had on that news item, so you moved on to the next big update. Also, you know the mean old neighbours, the ones who would always yell at us? He cringed, recalling those particular memories of back in the day was not pleasant even for someone as nostalgic as him. Yeah? They're not coming. They didn't rent the condo this summer. Cove's jaw dropped. Oh my god, look at his face! Ha! Cove's jaw dropped. You didn't blame him. The elderly couple had been an institution for as far back as you could remember, long predating Cove's arrival. Even now, as a teenager, you found your neck prickling as you walked by their condo, half expecting a scolding for breathing the wrong way in their vicinity of their vacation home. It was strange to think of that coming to an end. Wow. Cove blinked, clearly struggling with the idea in the same way you had. I didn't see that coming. People being gone, people coming back. Feels like I've missed a lot. This has been a busy summer already. Well, you haven't missed the fireflies. They haven't shown up yet. Well, that's something. And we'd better not get left behind. There's still stuff to do. You nodded. The two of you headed out and traced the most familiar path you'd ever walked, the trip across the road over to Cove's house. It seemed that no sooner had the night begun that it was already at an end, and the dawn of a new day was soon upon you. The next morning your belly was full of breakfast, and you were in a pleasant mood. You hoped that the rest of the day followed suit. I think I'm actually going to leave it there. I know we're right in the middle of a chapter of like a thing, but these ones tend to go for a long time, and I've already been recording for a while, so I think I'm going to leave it there. And at the start of a new day, what better place to stop? It's so nice to be back. It's so wild seeing everyone older. I'm not quite comfy with Cove's design yet. I don't know. His face is throwing me off a little bit. What a horrible thing to say. I don't know. I think I was just so used to the old one. I haven't settled into this one yet. But we'll get there. We'll get there, I'm sure. And Elizabeth is so cute. She's so pretty. I want a dating Elizabeth. See you later. Okay, I gotta go. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you have a good one, everyone. And I'll see you all in the next one when we finish our introduction into Act 3. Jeez Louise, am I drawing this out? Anyway, have a good one. Bye!